time I do, it makes me laugh. Every time I do, it makes me.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the away. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. You're still in bed at 10 and work again at 8. You burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the world was brought down to your knees. And I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. No one could ever know me, no one could ever see me. Seems you're the only one who knows what it's like to be me. Someone to face the day with, make it through all the rest with. Someone I always laugh with, even at my worst, my best with you. Yeah. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. I'll be there for you when the rain starts to fall. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you. I'll be there for you 'cause you're there for me too.
I always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with our future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. I always knew after all these years there'd be laughter, there'd be tears, but never thought I'd walk away with so much joy, but so much pain. And it's so hard to say goodbye, but yesterday's gone. We gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment. So glad I got to know you. The times that we had, I'll keep like a photograph and hold you in my heart forever. I'll always remember you. Another chapter in the book. Can't go back, but you can look. And there we are on every page. Memories I'll always save. Up ahead, only open doors. Who knows what we're heading towards? I wish you love, I wish you luck. For you, the world just opens up. But it's so hard to say goodbye. Yesterday's gone. We gotta keep moving on. I'm so thankful for the moment. So stop, 'cause you like the way, you like the way, you like the way. I got all I need when I got you and I. So I look around me and see a sweet life. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me through the night. Kickstart my heart when you're shining in my eyes. Can't lie, it's a sweet life. Stuck in the dark, but you're my flashlight. You're getting me
Hi, everybody. I think we're ready to get started. So I wanted to welcome everyone to our pinning ceremony, and I would like to thank everyone for our family and friends who are here with us today to commemorate some of the hardest years of our life. This ceremony marks the end of coursework, long clinical hours, and countless hours spent learning to become better nurses. I also want to thank our professors who are here guiding us on our way. I also want to take a moment to thank Dr. Michael Austin, who was our provost, Dr. Tim Tingy, who is the Vice President for Finance and Administrative Services, and Jay Olson, the Vice President for Technical Education and Workforce Development, who get to join us here also. And lastly, I want to thank my classmates who have been by my side the last 2 years. It's been one of the greatest experiences and honors of my life. Congratulations, everyone, and now it's time to celebrate.
She's taller than I am. All right. Well, I'm so glad that you are letting me speak to you today. It's always an exciting day. It's an exciting day for you guys that you've made it through school and you've put up with all of us and with all the hours and the tests, and then it's always a little bit sad to see you guys all go. It's great to see you guys come back and to see your successes, and we're always just a little bit sad to see you go. I've tried to think of something to say to you guys today that would just give you a little inspiration but not bore you to tears. So I've come up with a few things. You hear them in class probably. We'll talk about a few stats, a joke or two, a little story, and then perhaps a quote from somebody that you're familiar with, right? So here's our stats. We are graduating 24 students today. The oldest is 54. We heard in graduation today that the oldest that's graduating from Snow was 59, but this lady here today is 54, and we're glad that she's here. Our youngest is 21. For me, you guys seem to be getting younger and younger all the time. 12% of our class are males. That was better than to say 3 of you are here, right? So that makes 88% of our class are female. 4% came from Juab County. 20% came from Sevier County. 38 came from Sanpete County. And then we have 38% of you that are not in our six county service area, and you come from Beaver Dam all the way down to St. George. So there you go. We have you guys from all over the state. So we need a little joke, and you might want to know that here's some things that you can always tell if someone is a nurse, right? So they wear scrubs to bed and around the house as though it is formal wear, right? You might know that they're a nurse. A nurse washes their hands before they go to the toilet. You might be a nurse if you can't remember the last time that you peed. You unconsciously assess your friends and family, and you know that you do that, right? You only go to the doctor if you're half dead and usually tell him what med and test you need, right? You say to yourself, great veins, as you pass that perfect stranger. You don't get excited about blood unless it's your own. Eating microwave popcorn out of a clean bedpan is perfectly normal. And you avoid unhealthy-looking shoppers in the mall for fear they'll drop near you and you'll have to do CPR on your day off. So one of my favorite poems is entitled "The Road Not Taken" by Robert Frost. And the last line of the poem says, "Two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by. And that has made all the difference. It talks about taking the road less traveled. And I believe that nursing is that road less traveled. Beck, I found Kleenexes, so I'm not going to cry. I was recently reminded of why I became a nurse. And I believe, like Florence, I was pulled into nursing. I was very shy growing up. I still had an outside voice, but I didn't like to talk to people very much. And I didn't plan to be a nurse. But that path is what I chose, and it has made all the difference in life, even though it's not always the easiest thing to do. I have had the privilege of going on 27 Operation Smile trips. They do surgeries on individuals with cleft lips and palates. Someone asked me why I go, and you already know that I have those nerves, and I always get very nervous and stressed when I had to go on one of these trips because it took me out of my comfort zone. I did it when someone asked me why, and I said, let's try this again, right? It's like I haven't drank enough Mountain Dew today, right? Someone asked me why do I go, and because I always get nervous and stressed. It certainly takes me out of my comfort zone. It did start it worked when I started working in the OR, when I started teaching, and then I started doing Operation Smile trips. I like my comfort zone. I like to know where and when and what and why. But nursing, it isn't always that safe. One year I went on a trip to Brazil, an Operation Smile trip, and on the very first day of surgery, we had a patient that did not do well in surgery. In fact, it was a very stressful time for all of us, and we weren't sure that he would even make it. We had to intubate the patient, but we didn't have a ventilator for him, so we took turns bagging him for several hours. We finally received a machine, and it was decided that someone had to stay with him because they didn't even have an ICU unit. On recovery, our one recovery nurse and a pediatrician volunteered to stay with them, and they stayed with him all night long. In the morning, the boy was doing so much better that as we got there, and to our delights, his tube had been removed, and he stated that he was hungry and that he wanted some ice cream. That was the best thing that we'd ever heard. I think that's still why I love ice cream and gelato today. Okay? So, you're asking yourself, why am I telling you this story? Because I tell you stories all the time. I want you to remember that nursing is not about comfort zones, but about stepping out of your box to care for your patients. It's certainly not easy for the nurse to stay in the hospital of a foreign country and with very little help, but she did it because she cared. You're going to find this very often in nursing. You experienced this when you started nursing school, right? The first day of class. And then you went to clinicals, right? I saw it in your faces. Your experiences, the first time you placed a catheter in a real life person, the first time you gave a shot to a baby, or maybe the first time you walked into a nursery and held one of those babies, right? Or it might have been the first time that you tried to get an 80-year-old to take your medicine and they just threw them at you. Or how about the first time that you had to stand up in class and do a presentation on who knows what we decided you guys had to do it on. You stepped out of your comfort zone. There will be a lot of times that you will have to step out of that. It's all part of the package. The trick is, what do you do about it? I want you to remember 3 qualities that you need to be a great nurse. Always remember to serve and to care and to listen. Listen to the people you're caring for and listen to yourself on how to serve them. Learn to use that gut feeling after you've passed the NCLEX, right? It will make you a better nurse. Learn to work with others around you. Make nursing better because you're in it. Care about those that you are caring for. Florence Nightingale said, "The very first requirement in a hospital is that you should do the sick no harm." And she also said, practice it in your brain, your eyes, and your hands. Listen to Florence. She won't steer you wrong. Put your patients first and practice what you don't know until you do know what you need to do. I've given you this quote before. I found it did you know if you go in airports, they have great little stores and lots of fun things to find. So I found this quote in a Seattle airport, and it says, "Knowledge is knowing a tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is not putting it in a fruit salad. Isn't that what you need to remember when you go into the world of nursing? We've taught you the textbook answers. You know that a tomato is a fruit. But do we treat all of our gallbladder patients the same, or our total knee patients the same? That's where the wisdom comes into play. Make sure that you care for those patients individually. I've so enjoyed teaching and learning from you guys. Thanks for all of your hard work this last semester, and I'm proud of you, and good luck in all that you do.
Good afternoon, my esteemed colleagues, friends, family members, and most importantly, our incredible nursing graduates. It's an honor to stand before you all today as we celebrate this monumental achievement of being pinned as a nurse. This group is the first cohort I had the privilege of teaching, and unfortunately for them, I started the week school started in August. So needless to say, there was some baptism by fire for all involved, and I'll admit I was a little surprised when they asked me to speak today, but honored nonetheless. When I started this job, I saw in each of these students not just the intelligence it takes to be a nurse, but the heart it takes to connect deeply with people on some of the worst days of their lives, and the innate ability they each have to heal others. Today we have the opportunity to recognize not just your completion of a rigorous educational journey, but the beginning of something profoundly important, your new role as nurses, entrusted with the ability to care for others. As your instructor, I've had the great privilege of watching you grow, both personally and professionally over these past months. You've navigated complex coursework, developed essential clinical skills, and embraced a wide range of learning experiences. But beyond the technical knowledge and hands-on training, I've witnessed something truly remarkable in each of you: compassion, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to remain true to yourselves. And it's that, your resilience and your genuineness, that I would like to speak about today. In this profession, resilience is more than just bouncing back after a hard shift. It's about standing tall in the face of the unknown. It's about remaining confident, even in the hardest moments. It's the quiet strength to show up again and again, even when you're exhausted, even when you're heartbroken, even when you're questioning whether you made the right call. It's what allows you to keep going despite it all. You have all displayed resilience throughout your time in the nursing program. You have faced great challenges, whether it's overcoming tough course material, balancing full-time school, parenthood, and work, experiencing the loss of a loved one, or on a happier note, welcoming a new life into the world just weeks before the completion of your program. You have all continued to show up for yourselves despite the many challenges you have faced. I encourage you all to continue building resilience in your community, in your workplace, and within yourselves. Build resilience within your community by showing up for those you love. Be present, like actually present. Take time to step away from the chaos of the world, set down your phone, and be there for the people that you love. Celebrate their successes and show up in their times of need as well. Build resilience within your workplace. There will be hard shifts and hard cases, times when you might want to give up. Have your teams back in those times. Be the nurse that other nurses know they can rely on, and find the people you can rely on in return. Sometimes your coworkers will be the only ones who truly know and understand the complexity of what you experience daily at work. Lean into that. Continue to build resilience within yourself. Take care of your mind, your body, your emotions, and hold tight to the passion that brought you here, because it will fuel you in times of hardship and remind you why you chose this path. And genuineness. That's your superpower as a nurse. Being a nurse isn't about putting on a mask of perfection. It's about being real. Patients don't need superheroes. They need human beings who will sit with them in their fear, who will hold their hand, who will say, "I see you. I'm here." The most impactful moments in your careers will not be the flawless IV starts, the perfect textbook assessment, or even running the perfect code. They will be the times when you experience profound human connection, when you show up with your whole heart and make somebody feel a little less alone, a little less scared, a lot more understood. You each bring your own story, your own light, and your own style of care. Never lose that. Never trade your authenticity for approval. Because what healthcare needs and what the world needs are nurses and people who lead with heart, who care deeply, and who remain grounded in who they are, even as they take on the enormous responsibility of caring for others. So as you step forward into this next chapter, hold tight to the lessons you've learned, not just from your textbooks, but from each other, from your patients, and from your own journeys. Congratulations, nursing class of 2025. You are resilient, you are real, you are ready, and I am so proud of each of you.
Good afternoon. I'm going to save my story until last, okay? Can we just give this group another round of applause? I mean, we love every student we teach, but this group made me laugh. They are fun. They are a fun bunch of students. I'm going to talk today a little bit about the nurse pinning. Many of you might be asking what a nurse pinning ceremony is and how it came to be. It's a symbolic welcoming ceremony for the new graduate nurse to enter the profession of nursing, which has been traced back to the Crusades. It is an official initiation into the nurse profession. New nurse graduates are presented with a school nurse pin by a faculty from the nursing school or by a registered nurse personally selected by the graduate. The purpose is to pass on the mantle of experience, authority, hope, and wisdom to the next generation of nurses. Often the nurse recite the Nurse Nightingale Pledge. Pinning is always to honor and celebrate the new nurse graduates' dedication to the profession and the knowledge of their arduous journey of becoming a professional nurse. It is a time for students to celebrate with their classmates and their loved ones of whom have supported them throughout their journey. Most importantly, it is a pivotal moment that represents you, the new nurse. Graduate evolution from student nurse to a full-fledged registered nurse. The pin is a badge of honor that shows the world that you have not only met your educational requirements of the nursing program, but is also the temperament and patience that encompasses a true nurse. It shows your dedication to your patients by staying back and caring for the patients long after others have gone home. It is a medal of honor that for the respect nurses that have both experienced the miracle of life and of death. It represents everything nurses do on the front lines, fighting illness and disease, as well as moving forward with their courage and passion. The student nurses we honor tonight are excellent at what they do. They have sacrificed a lot to ensure that we receive the best care possible. Now here's my story that I already told you the first time I saw you. Put my lipstick on if I end up in the care center. If my children put me there, okay? During a single shift, a nurse encounters so many things, situations ranging from hope to heartbreak, all in the while of keeping up with their patient charts, their care, and instructions. Nurses are the heartbeat of the healthcare industry. Congratulations to this cohort and their dedication to learning. Graduates, you made it today. You have earned all the joy, pride, relief that comes with today. So congratulations and strong work. As you have gone through the RN program, Through this process of becoming and being, you have become more independent, critical thinkers and confident in your skills. You've grown into who you are as a therapeutic presence at the bedside, a listener and an emphasizer, a teacher, a professional, a servant in all the very best ways. Remember this, you have studied hard, pushed through countless challenges, and emerged stronger. You've comforted patients in the darkest hours and celebrated their victories. You've learned to work as a team and trust your instincts. Embrace your fears, vulnerability, even grief you may experience as a nurse. You have already grown into incredible nurses and will continue growing. Congratulations and welcome to the family of nurses.
All right, we'd like to recognize some of our students today. They have worked so hard and have overcome a lot of challenges. One thing I wanted to recognize as I was in the graduation today, I noticed that we had some students, if I can find the page, that are being recognized as magna cum laude and cum laude. This means that our magna cum laude students means that they have a GPA of 3.7 to 3.89, and they also were given cords if they walk today. Our cum laude students are students that are graduating with a 3.5 to a 3.74. And we have about 13 of our students that have been recognized that. So I think if you would like, you can stand up. If not, if we could just give them a round of applause for all the hard work that they've had. We also have a program in our college that is a service learning. And we had some students. We started encouraging our students several years ago to start looking at that. And they awarded 4 students for the Service Learning Award. And 3 of the 4 students are nurses. And 2 of them are here today, and we'd like them to come up on stage and to get their award. And our service learning recipients are Katie Owens and Lainey Matthey. Can you come up? Thank you, guys. They worked really hard on that. We also have, every year we have class officers, and we'd like to recognize those. We've had a lot. They are in your program, so I will not read the entire list, but we would like, maybe I will read the list. So as we go through, we'd like the following students to come up as activities coordinators. So Brett, and I'm calling your first name. I'm not killing your last name. So Brett and Cammie and Emily, McKenna and Dusty were our first and second semester activities coordinators. We had Addie and Heidi and Katie and Tenny were our activities coordinators for the third and fourth semester. If you guys could come up. We also have, we had historians and social media. We're on, what is it? TikTok? No, Instagram. See, I don't know this stuff. But we do have an Instagram page if you'd like to follow us. And some of our students are responsible for that and also for the video that you saw today. So our first and second semester historians and social media were Heidi and Kendra and Lainey. And then our third and fourth semester were Izzy and Jasmine and Dusty. And some of them you can see they did both. And then we have our class representatives, if they would like to come up. For first and second semester, we had Hannah and Tenny, Lacey and Katie. And for third and fourth semester, we had Hannah and Brett and Lainey and Shannon. We appreciate all the hard work that they did in their program and the input that they gave us and the help that they gave us and to their fellow students. So if we give a round of applause for them once more, and thank you. You're good. Every year, the faculty get together and come up with a couple of awards that we'd like to recognize our students. And we know they're all very hard workers, and we appreciate all of them. There are a couple that we'd like to recognize. Every year we give out a clinical excellence award. As they go to clinicals, they do a lot of different things. They work hard, they learn things, they take care of people. They have experiences that they probably haven't told you about, or some they have that you don't want to know about. But tonight we'd like to recognize Hannah Olson as our Clinical Excellence Award winner, if she'd come up and get that. Our last award we'd like to give out is our Academic Excellence Award. And you've heard they put in many hours of time and effort to be able to pass their classes and graduate. We'd like to recognize Tenny Cook as our Academic Excellence Award winner. And she's also graciously agreed to give a talk. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for letting me speak to you guys today. It's such a wonderful opportunity that I am so nervous but excited to do. I feel incredibly blessed to be a part of this amazing program. I'm grateful not only for my brilliant teachers who have guided us, but also for an incredible group of students I've had the privilege to learn alongside of. This cohort, this group right here, have been so welcoming and so kind. I need one for myself soon, too. I've watched each of them take care of patients with such skill and heart, and I know without a doubt they'll make a lasting impact in the nursing community. Compassion is ingrained in them, and that compassion will serve as a powerful foundation in their nursing journeys. To be honest, I feel a little inadequate standing up here giving you this speech. Growing up, I never dreamt of becoming a nurse. In fact, I had no clue what I wanted to do. I just happened to enjoy my anatomy and my physiology class in high school. And my dad, who happened to also be my school counselor, suggested nursing, thinking it might be a good fit. And well, I listened. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do with dads, right? So here I am, standing, so thankful that I did listen. Others in this cohort came in with such a strong passion for nursing. Many have shared other stories of how nurses have touched their lives and how they hope to return the favor. Being a part of this program has allowed me to walk even briefly in the shoes of a nurse, and now I get it. I got to understand the why of nursing that these people have already known. Nursing is the career of compassion. It's the career of empathy, the career of selflessness, the career of advocacy, the career of kindness, and is the career of people. So what is the why of nursing? Why would sane people pick this as their career? Why continue with it day after day, even when it can and it will be defeating? I'll answer that, but first, let's talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Some of us are familiar with it, and some of you may not be, but at least I know 24 of us in this room definitely are, I hope. Just kidding. Maslow's theory, created by psychologist Abraham Maslow, is shaped like a pyramid and broken into 5 different levels. Each level must be fulfilled before a person can move on to the next. So from bottom to top, the levels are physiological needs. It's your food, shelter, water, and health. Your safety needs, which is like your security, employment, and resources. The third level is love and belonging, your relationships, your friendships, and community. The fourth level is self-esteem, which is respect, confidence, and freedom. And at the tippy top of the pyramid, you have a level that's called self-actualization. And this is purpose, meaning, creativity, and reaching one's full potential. This is the why of nursing. Nursing is such a worthwhile career because it can facilitate the fulfillment of this stage of self-actualization for us and for, more importantly, our patients. Nursing is the process of enabling others to climb that pyramid. We meet people wherever they are, whether they need shelter, safety, support, or someone to believe in them. And we help them move forward one step at a time. And in doing that, we often discover our own sense of purpose. Nursing is holistic. It's not just about treating physical symptoms, it's about seeing the whole person, their mental, spiritual, emotional, and social well-being. So how do nurses do it? Yes, they do it through medicine and referrals, but what I want to highlight today are the tools that are often overlooked, the tools we use every single day, which include compassion, advocacy, and service. Nurses use knowledge and skill to heal, but we also use our hearts. Nursing is about forming real human connections. It's about being there in someone's most vulnerable moments and being the one trusted to see the person behind the illness, someone who deserves to be loved and cared for. Yes, we may be the eyes and the ears of the doctors, but we are the voices for our patients. We ensure that our patients' needs are met within the realms of their cultures, values, and beliefs. We help them feel seen. We help them heal. We help them restore relationships. We help them to safety. We help them believe they belong in this world and that they deserve to take up space. Even when nurses aren't always received with warmth or with gratitude, we serve anyways. Because we see our patients as people with boundless potential. Sorry. Okay, now I know we're all excited to finally step into our Hokas or On Clouds or Crocs of nurses, and as we begin our next chapter. So let me close with this cliche line that makes this speech a graduation speech. I can't believe we finally made it. We look forward to life beyond nursing school, but now I feel a new sense of emotion, fear of the unknown. In school, we had structure. We knew what assignments to do, we knew when to nap, we knew when to study, and we knew when to daydream about today. But the future is full of unknowns. And with the unknown often comes fear, just like every clinical we've ever walked into. But here's the thing. Fear and excitement are essentially the same physiological response, just seen through different lenses. Our sympathetic nervous system kicks in, our hearts race, our senses heighten, our palms get sweaty, and we feel a surge of adrenaline. My hope for all of us is that we take that feeling that could be mistaken for fear and instead embrace the excitement. Let's welcome every opportunity that comes our way, and with that, let's grow into the trusted nurses we are destined to become. Thank you.
All right, we are now going to get ready to do the pinning ceremony. So I'm going to give you a few directions and then a little bit of something, and then I'll excuse you. So as we get ready to do the pinning ceremony, which is all you guys have come for the Florence Nightingale Pledge and the pinning ceremony, is a great photo op. So we have instructed the students when they come out on stage and get that pin, they're going to turn right in front of this, right here. All right. The nursing pin is a symbol with rich history dating back to the Maltese cross. The Crusaders wore the cross as a symbol of service in Christianity. Over the centuries, various symbols represented service to the ruler of the community. In 1860, Florence Nightingale received the Red Cross of St. George for her selfless efforts to injured men during the Crimean War. She, in turn, awarded her hardest working nurses, graduates, a Medal of Excellence. In 1916, it became a standard in the United States to recognize nursing students during the pinning ceremony. The pin was provided by the Hospital School of Nursing to the students to identify them as nurses and the program they graduated from. Today, we continue this tradition by welcoming our students into the family of nurses and recognizing all the hard work. The students have asked a nurse that has a great influence in their life to pin them today. We ask all the students, as well as those nurses who are asked to pin, to stand up and to go to stage right out that exit door. And the nursing students will be there. So if you guys all just stand up and head out. And if there's people in the audience that will be pinning today, if you will go in that direction, you will meet up with your student and they will help you get where you need to be.
Addie Barr. She will be pinned by her preceptor, Angie Stewart. Now. Hunter Boykin. He will be pinned by his nursing instructor, Amber Epling. Spencer Chase. He will be pinned by his favorite sister-in-law, Stacy Anderson. Rachel Elise Clegg. She will be pinned by her nursing instructor, Stephanie Lambert. Lacey Echeverria. She will be pinned by her nursing instructor, Stephanie Lambert. pinned by her nursing instructor, Stephanie Lambert. Stephanie Lambert. Kaylee Giles. She will be pinned by her mother-in-law, Juanita Giles. William Wayne Giles. He will be pinned by his mother, Juanita Giles. Stephanie Hill. She will be pinned by her sister, Amy Anderson. Tinny Lloyd. She will be pinned by her mentor, Shelby Perry. Jasmine Mangana. She will be pinned by her nursing instructor, Mary Thomas. Malane Christiana Matthey. She will be pinned by her best friend, Danielle Meekum. Heidi Marie Mortensen. She will be pinned by her grandma, Corinne Mortensen. Madison Olson. She will be pinned by her mentor and friend, Bridget Bennett. Hannah Olson. She will be pinned by her mentor, Barbara Hyatt. Kendra Olson. She will be pinned by her nursing instructor, Mary Thomas. Katie Lynn Owens. She will be pinned by her sister-in-law, Alexis Allen. Brett Renzello. She will be pinned by her grandma, Bonnie Ballard Valdez. Shannon Shorts Roundy. She will be pinned by her nursing instructor, Amber Epling. McKenna Alger Taylor. She will be pinned by her track coach, family friend, and mentor, Jamie J. Southwick. Emily Ann Van Osdal will be pinned by her brother, Spencer Van Osdal. Good job, Kenna. I present to you the Snow College nursing graduates of 2025.
Okay, it's doubtful that any nurse's name has been heard more than that of Florence Nightingale. She was unquestionably a pioneer and founder of modern nursing, as well as a reformer of hospitals. Florence also established the first professional nursing school at St. Thomas Hospital. Florence Nightingale came from wealth and lived in England. It is interesting to note that she was born in Florence, Italy, during one of her parents' holidays. During one of her parents' holidays, and was named after the city of her birth. Florence was very intelligent, and by the time she was 17, she had mastered several ancient and modern languages, was well read in literature, philosophy, religion, history, politics, and science, and had mastered higher mathematics. She was probably better educated than most men of her time. At a very early age, she expressed a desire to be a nurse. Her parents were strongly against this due to the very poor conditions of hospitals at that time. It took Florence 16 years to overcome the obstacles of her family to enter nursing, which she felt was the calling from God. Florence's accomplishments would take hours to discuss. Out of that, she is well known for what she's well known for was her work during the Crimean War. She was appointed to as superintendent of the female nursing establishment of the English General Hospitals in Turkey in 1954 and was given charge of 38 nurses. The vast barrack hospital had wounded soldiers on The vast barrack hospital had wounded soldiers on beds 4 miles long. The mortality rate was 42.7%. A sewer ran through the hospital, and it was cold, dark, and damp. The conditions there attracted rats and disease, and medical supplies were scarce. Florence demonstrated well her skills as a nurse and as an administrator. She was hampered in her work by military leaders who resisted every change that she suggested since she was a civilian and a woman. Florence made major changes that affect nursing to this very day. She demanded cleanliness, not only in the surroundings, but in her nurses. She insisted on light and sanitation. Wholesome food was a must. Miss Nightingale transformed a place of horror into a haven where the soldiers could truly convalesce. Under her direction, the mortality rate dropped to 2.2% in 6 months' time. In the evening, after the other nurses had retired, she made her solitary rounds. She stopped to observe the condition of the sickest patients. These rounds were made with her famous lamp and lantern. We pay tribute to Florence Nightingale today and her life of service to others with our own sacrifice for education to enable us to serve others, our own candle of light lit by our instructors, and by repeating the Florence Nightingale Pledge.
Hello, and thank you again for coming, everybody. Graduations are not the most fun thing in the world, so we really, truly appreciate it. We've been looking forward to this day for a really long time, and it means the world to all of us. And I, of course, have to start by thanking my peers, my family, and each instructor here. Every one of you that I just mentioned has seen me cry, which I guess isn't saying much since obviously I do it a lot. But I do have to say thank you because all of you have been there for me. There's just something special about Snow College. We are smaller, our cohort's a little smaller than other schools, and you truly feel that with the close connections that we've all been able to make with each other. And for these instructors too, I know that each one of them cares about all of us, and we got a really personal education, and I just am really grateful for Snow College. My village, there aren't enough thank yous for my family. When I was accepted into nursing school, I was a single mother with very little confidence in myself and in my future. I have grown and gained so much over this time, and I know my peers have too. Each member of my family, immediate and extended, has watched my little girl Delilah and helped me raise her into the most incredible little girl. And many of my peers, that's another unique thing about Snow College, is many of us are parents, and a big thank you to all of you who have watched our children, because of course we wouldn't have been able to do it without you. Especially my amazing parents and Brock's mom, Jody, your wonderful grandparents to her. My peers are truly my best friends, and I'm so grateful that we ended up in the same cohort. I know that they will each make wonderful nurses in their own unique ways, and I can't thank you enough for being my friends. Nursing began not in hospitals, but in homes, on battlefields, and in communities. Wherever there was suffering, someone stepped forward to care. Long before it became a profession, nursing was an instinct rooted in compassion and service. From the ancient caregivers who tended the sick with nothing but cloth and courage, to pioneers of nursing like Florence Nightingale, who brought structure and science to care. Nursing has always been about answering a call to heal, to comfort, and to stand beside people in their most vulnerable moments. It is one of the oldest and most enduring expressions of humanity. Nursing was born for the moments when people are at their very most vulnerable. It is one of the oldest, most sacred professions. We are protectors, advocates, and caretakers, and I can honestly say that each person in my class deserves these titles. I have watched them overcome many significant barriers through our 2 years together, becoming parents, raising children, working demanding jobs, and through personal struggles especially. I am so proud of each of them, and all of you should be too. This was not easy. We have taken so many exams, 1 or 2 every single week since September of 2023. We've read so much, studied, cried, driven miles and miles. I think all of us had to travel for our clinicals. Taken thousands of NCLEX practice questions, which is not an exaggeration. Thank you, Amber. Worked over 500 hours for free, sacrificed so much time with our families, and taken some really awkward pass-off videos. And as I say that, I remember that I have not deleted mine yet, so please do not look me up on YouTube, and all of my friends could agree with that. They're very embarrassing. We have all chosen to answer a call. Learning to become a nurse is unlike learning anything else. It's not just mastering skills or memorizing anatomy. It's learning how to hold someone's hands when words are not enough, how to stay calm in chaos, and how to advocate for someone who can't speak for themselves. It's long nights, hard days, and moments that test your heart as much as your knowledge. We learn not just to care, but to care deeply, even when it's difficult. Through clinicals, classes, and the mentorship of nurses who came before us, we've grown into something stronger than we were, into people who are ready to show up no matter what. When you discover a new pregnancy and hear a baby's heartbeat for the first time, a nurse is there. When you are scared and worried for the little life you are carrying inside of you, a nurse is there. In the scary, challenging delivery of bringing that little life into the world, a nurse is there. As you learn to nurse that baby for the first time, a nurse is there. When your baby grows up to become a stumbling toddler and falls and breaks their arm, and you and your baby are both in need of comfort, a nurse is there. When that toddler needs vaccines to go to preschool, a nurse is there. When that toddler grows to be in elementary school and gets sick at school, they need someone to give them water, medicine, and comfort until their mom can be there for them, and a nurse will be there. When they grow up into an adult in need of examinations and checkups, a nurse will be there. When they have babies of their own, a nurse will be there. When they receive a scary diagnosis and need encouragement and reassurance, a nurse will be there. When they need medication, surgeries, treatment, compassionate care, a nurse will be there. And in your last dying moments, when you need someone to hold your hand, a nurse will be there. To hold you, to hold your hand, to pray with you, for you, over you. And after our patients pass, our care doesn't end there. Those who have died need someone to remember them, and nurses will be there. Nurses show up. Nurses are the bravest among mankind. We do the work that others fear, and we do it thirsty, we do it hungry, scared, tired. We show up. Our profession was created to care, to show up. In all moments from birth to death, and every beautiful, terrifying, scary, mundane moment in between. As we step into this noble profession, let us remember the words of Virginia Henderson, who described nursing not just as a job, but as a calling. The nurse is temporarily the consciousness of the unconscious, the love of life for the suicidal, the leg of the amputee, the eyes of the newly blind, a means of locomotion for the infant, knowledge and confidence for the young mother, the voice for those too weak to speak, and so on. In those few lines, she captured what many don't see, how nurses fill in the gaps left by illness, trauma, or loss. We become more than caregivers. We become strength, hope, and dignity when our patients need it most. As we move forward, may we carry this responsibility with pride, humility, and compassion. It has been my honor to be taught by some of the finest nurses healthcare has to offer, so please a round of applause for them. And to be supported by all of our families and friends. I know that each of my peers, and especially myself, would not have been able to finish schooling without their village. So please give a round of applause for yourselves for supporting us. The greatest honor of all has been to answer this call with each of you. A call to heal, to comfort, and to stand beside people in their most vulnerable moments. There are so many stories I could share about our time in school together, but we'd be here all day, and we all want this day to be over, right? So with that, much like when your caregiver appreciation gift for doing arguably one of the hardest jobs on earth is just a piece of pizza in the break room, we do have refreshments outside. And thank you so much for coming. And ladies and gentlemen, please applaud the class of 2025 Snow College nursing graduates.